October 20th, 2021. Good day all. This is a message from Sierra Victor. We continue with message number 16 of counter-guerrilla operations with FM 90-8/MCRP 333A as reference and discuss counterinsurgency operations. Section 6. Defensive operations. This section discusses defensive operations which brigades and subordinate units may have to conduct. Depending on the tactical situation, these operations, or variations of them, may be conducted during any phase of an insurgency. In some instances, the type of operation under consideration is identical to one already discussed in Section 5. The difference is the purpose. For example, patrolling may be either offensive or defensive in purpose. When its purpose is offensive, it is done to locate the enemy and destroy him. When its purpose is defensive, it is done to deny the enemy access to an area, and to keep him from organizing for offensive operation. This section also provides guidance to commanders concerned with the defense of various types of temporary or semi-permanent bases, such as logistical installations, OSBS, airfields, and airbases, under varying conditions of security that may exist in an area of operations. It is also applicable to the defense of civilian communities. Commanders responsible for bases, facilities, and communities should exercise those principles and techniques discussed which apply to their particular situation. Base defense environment. Defense and security of tactical units and installations are integral parts of combat missions. The term base is used to include all types of facilities to be defended. The base defense environment is established in an area generally controlled by friendly forces but not sufficiently secure to prevent guerrillas from moving in small groups, establishing firing positions, or mounting small-scale attacks. Many of the guerrillas do not wear distinctive uniforms. At times, some may appear dressed in government uniforms or civilian dress. Guerrillas cannot always be distinguished from government supporters or neutrals even when they are conducting overt operations. Thus, anyone and everyone not part of own forces, close or near a base is considered a threat. Although base defense primarily focuses on external threats, internal threats should also be mitigated. In South Africa, like we saw recently in KZN, bases would most probably be strongholds in suburbs like hospitals, schools, and other areas where people can bunker in and defend themselves. Suburbs must be chosen with the most logistical assets, like water reservoirs, supermarkets, hardware stores, pharmacies etc., the most defendable terrain and the most strategic value. Passive defense. In addition to their assigned defense missions, all units in the base area are responsible for maximum implementation of passive defense. Passive defense consists of measures taken to reduce the probability, and to minimize the effects, of damage caused by hostile action, without the expectation of taking the initiative. Responsibility for the conduct of specialized passive defense measures is assigned to firefighting units, medical units, and other appropriate organizations capable of satisfying passive defense requirements. Additionally, all units assigned to the base initiate passive defense measures, such as dispersion, camouflage, blackout, and use of shelters. These measures assist in preserving the operating integrity of the base and ensuring decisive and effective action against enemy attack. Fundamentals of base defense. Base defense. It is established to provide all-round security for the base with available forces and is characterized by detailed planning and centralized control. Security measures may also include provisions to protect adjacent civilian communities, if feasible. Constant and aggressive action by friendly elements against enemy forces constitutes a major element of base defense. Vigilance and sound security measures reduce enemy interference with operations at the base and also tend to cause enemy forces to divert their operations from the area. Use of terrain. Proper evaluation and organization of the area are essential to hold down the number of additional forces required for base defense. Factors considered are: 1. Natural defensive characteristics of the terrain. 2. Use of artificial obstacles to enhance the natural defensive characteristics of the terrain. 3. existing roads and waterways used for military lines of communications and civilian commerce. 4. Control of land areas surrounding the base complex to a range beyond that of enemy mortars and rockets, and also control of water approaches. 5. The proximity of logistical assets. Security. Early warning of pending actions ensures the base commander time to react to any threat. Outposts, patrols, ground surveillance and scout dogs, if available, provide early warning. Civilian informants and actions of indigenous personnel near the base are excellent indicators of pending enemy actions. Security measures vary with enemy threat, forces available, and other factors. All-round security is essential. Mutual support. Defending forces are positioned to ensure mutual employment of defensive resources, which include fires, observation, and maneuver elements. Mutual support between defensive elements requires careful planning, positioning, and coordination because of the circular aspects of the base area. Surveillance, obstacles, prearranged fires, and maneuver are used to control gaps. Defense plans provide for use of all available support. All-round defense. In defensive planning, the base commander has to be prepared to defend against enemy attack from any direction. Plans are sufficiently flexible, and reserves are positioned to permit reaction to any threat. Base Defense Forces, or BDF for short, are assigned primary and alternate positions and sectors of responsibility. All personnel are assigned duty stations or shelters. Defense in depth. Alternate and supplementary positions, combat outposts, and mutually supporting strongpoints in front of the base forward defense area extend the depth. The commander plans fires throughout the defensive area up to the maximum range of available weapons. Portable obstacles may be placed around critical targets during reduced visibility to disrupt the enemy's plan and add depth to the defense. Responsiveness. Attacks against a base may range from long-range sniper, mortar, or rocket fire to attacks by suicide demolition squads or major forces. The enemy has the advantage of deciding when, where, and with what force he will attack. The defender positions his forces and plans fires and movement so he can respond to the widest possible range of enemy actions. The defender prepares plans, to include counter-attack plans, and rehearses, evaluates, and revises them as necessary. Maximum use of offensive action. Since the objective of the base defense is to maintain a secure base, the defender uses offensive action to the maximum to engage enemy forces outside the base. On initial occupation of the base site, friendly forces take offensive actions to destroy enemy forces in the immediate area. The area commander employs patrols, raids, ambushes, attacks, and supporting fires to harass and destroy any remaining enemy force. Once the enemy has been cleared from the area, the base can be defended by a smaller force. The BDF commander maintains constant liaison with major tactical unit commanders in the area to stay abreast of efforts to remove the threat. Due to WhatsApp audio length, we keep our message between 5 and 10 minutes. In our next message, we will continue with defense preparations. Thank you for listening or reading this message. Please feel free to use and distribute as needed. Our messages are not by any means enticing you to a revolution of sorts, but rather to equip you with the necessary theoretical background in order to assist local armed forces or police in stabilizing a SHTF situation. We wish you well. Sierra Victor. Please visit our Dropbox account for all our previous material. Links can be obtained from any admin on the Sierra Victor groups.